Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
I feel like the last time we talked about the Rookie of the Year debate it was sealed in Paul Banchero's name in January, but as of late, at the start of the new year, we have a new runner for this award, and that's Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, with that being said, how close of the Rookie of the Year debate? How close is the Rookie of the Year debate?
In my opinion, like early on in the season, it seemed like it was written off as Paolo's award to lose, and you had some flashes of Benedict Mathurin, but nothing really to push Paolo out the race. And then since 2023, we had an emergence of Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City Thunder, and I just feel like people aren't taking into account just how good he's been and how historic his efficiency has been for this team. He's on a playing team. He has the argument of being the second best player on this team, especially since the new year. You have Shea right there as the number one player, but Jalen Williams, his two-way effect is just ridiculous, man. I think since the new year started, he's averaging about 16, 5, and 5 on like 50, 40, and like 80 splits with 2 steals a game. This guy's just been doing it on both ends. He's been putting up huge games in March. I think 9 of his last 12 games, he's at 20 plus points.
9 out of 14, I think.
Yeah, 12 out of his last 22, he's scored 20 plus points, and he's doing it on crazy efficiency. Almost every game we see from this guy is on 50% shooting. And I just feel like voters have to take into account his effect on a team that's playing bound, that's sitting in the playing tournament at the 10th seed. He's having a huge effect. Paulo's been a stud all season long. He's had stretches though of huge inconsistency, especially the month of February. And I feel like voters have to take into account the positions of the team and their effect. Of course, Shea's on one team and the other team doesn't have him, but even with games without Shea, Jalen Williams has been phenomenal. He's been averaging 22 in 11 games without Shea. So I feel like he has an argument for Rookie of the Year. If Paolo wins, I won't be mad. But for people to act like this award shouldn't come down to 2 candidates and should just be a consensus, Paolo, I have a huge issue with that.
I mean, for me, it got to be consistency factor. Like, we can't forget the first half of the season. Like, we cannot write Paulo's first half of the season off just because Jalen Williams had a consistent second half of the season. Other than February for Paulo, guy's been averaging 27 and 4 the whole season. He walked into Orlando the best player. We're talking about Orlando, second pick of the draft this year or the first pick last year?
It's the number 1 overall pick, man.
Paulo, coming in as a rookie, being the best player on that team, just it's been phenomenal. They're sitting at 34 and 44, and he's leading that team. Due to if we put Shea on that team, who knows where Orlando can be? Maybe they'd be 6.
But that's the thing, though. He's not gonna walk in and be the best player on a team with Shea. That's just not happening.
But are we gonna say he's gonna not have numbers though?
He's not gonna put up a Jalen Williams level of efficiency. I don't think so.
Why not?
No.
Why not? Why not?
I don't think so.
We're comparing the number 1 pick to Jalen Williams, a guy that was cooking in college. We know what type of game he was coming into. We know who Paulo was coming into this league.
It really doesn't matter who they were in college. It's about their production in their rookie years.
And he's been producing. Has he not?
But look at his splits, bro. The guy's shooting 29% from 3. Why does that not matter? He's shooting 41% from the field. Like, why doesn't efficiency matter in these debates? I get it, he's a number 1 option, but he has Franz next to him, I think, who is much more efficient than him when you compare the two. Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like it's an excuse for Paulo to be inefficient as a rookie. I understand there's comparisons with LeBron when he was shooting 41% as a rookie, but that's a different type of era when they were playing. It was a lot less spacing in shooting around them. Of course, they're going to shoot 42% back then, but Paulo, this guy shot 3% from 3 in February. Like, that's terrible. Like, come on.
That's nasty. But like I said, other than that,
like, I don't mind Paulo winning. My thing is, it's not consensus. Like, people are acting like Jalen Williams genuinely does not have an argument for being rookie of the year.
No, he does 100%, especially with the second half of the season he's having and what he's been doing to help Shea and OKC get into this playing tournament and everything. It's been phenomenal. But to me, we're talking about just as a player coming out singly without adding the extra add-ons with Shea, he's playing with Shea, so it's easier for him to get his buckets, or he's not playing with Shea and he has all this type of shots and he has free roam. To me, because Paulo just all year long, but February, he's been number 1 for me. And then Jalen, I feel like Jalen, not in the first half of the season, we probably didn't have him as top 3, top 4, but he's jumped to number 2, and it's not consensus at all. I feel like, if Jalen had, what he was doing in March and February, in these late months, early on in the season, 100% he would have had number 1 argument, 100%. But I feel like Paulo, he's a little above Jalen Williams right now, and guy's averaging, even since that February break, he's been averaging 21, 7, and 3. So he's been stepped up as well since that nasty month that he had, shooting 3% from the 3-point line. I think it was like 29% from field. He's been playing horrible that month, but on a team like Orlando, bro, they're still fine. They're 34-44, and to me, he's been the best rookie of the year.
For me personally, I don't think this rookie of the year debate is close. When we talk about Paulo, we don't necessarily talk about him being a 3-time Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month winner. He's been the only guy that's been able to win it on that side. I believe one of the months they gave it to somebody else. But when we look at they gave it to Benedict Mathurin that one the other month. But when we look at the Western Conference, you have Walker Kessler over there. You have Keegan Murray, who's won it a couple of times. I think they gave it one to Jalen Williams. I'm not too entirely sure on that, but
They did.
If we're gonna go ahead and consider Jalen Williams to be the second guy to win Rookie of the Year, then I feel like we gotta put Benedict Mathurin in there. Why do we just stop at Jalen Williams? I feel like this race for the Rookie of the Year award is over. It's been over since the start of the year. Paulo took the baton and he ran with it, and he hasn't looked back ever since. Obviously, there's gonna be a few guys in the draft that step up their play and play great. We saw it with Benedict Mathurin in the beginning of the year. When him and Tyrese Halliburton were doing good and he was coming off the bench. We saw a few stretches at the start of the year for him. Keegan Murray stepped up a little bit. We're seeing Walker Kessler as of late step up for the Utah Jazz. And now, obviously, since the start of the new year, it's been Jalen Williams. So I feel like if we're going to go ahead and consider Jalen Williams for this award alongside Paulo, there's a lot of other guys that should be.
But those guys have any of those guys been as good as Jalen Williams has been?
I think Benedict Mathurin has a case. I think he has a strong case.
I don't think he's been as good as Jalen Williams. I don't think he's been as good as in his best stretch of play. I don't think he's better than Jalen Williams, his best stretch of play at all, especially considering this new year. This is like 3 months. This is 3 months of a sample size, like his last 40 games, which is, I think, dates back to basically January 1st, whenever that is. He's been averaging about 16 or 17, 5 and 5 with 2 steals a game. This guy's been doing it on both ends of the floor.
January. Let me see. I'm looking at it. January, he averaged 12 points on 30% shooting from 3%, 50 from field. February was 51%, 32% from 3, averaging 13 points in February. It's really just the month of March where he just cooked up, man.
Nah, you guys gotta understand. But he doesn't have the same level of usage as someone like Paulo. Of course, he's not gonna put up 20 plus points. In March, the fact that his usage percentages have gone up to 22 or 23% allows him to have the ball. Allows him to have the ball a lot more. Look at his last 40 games. 16, 5, and 4, 2 steals a game. So he's literally 4 points less than Paulo on way, way, way higher efficiency. We're not taking into account the level of efficiency this guy has been. He's been an incredible finisher at the rim. He's been a good enough shot maker from the outside, and especially from the mid-range area. He doesn't have a high volume of 3, but he makes them when he takes them. So I don't get why does that not factor into.
You gotta take that into account. How many shots is he putting up? Obviously, if he's putting up 2 3-pointers a game, which is what he's averaging right now, and he makes 1 out of the 2, that's 50%. So how are we gonna base that?
Because he scores in other ways, though. He scores in other ways, though. What about the 50% from field? He's
not taking a lot of shots. That's what I'm.
And he's putting up 16 a game with that. That's crazy. He's not taking that many.
A lot of that is him, not taking a lot of shots and then getting to the line, which is helping him. So
what does that say about Paulo then? If he's shooting, he has scoring only 4 more points on 40% from the field.
Paulo has to take a lot more shots because look at the situation he's in. Jalen Williams doesn't have to do that. He has Shea, and then he has Giddey, who could from time to time.
Of course, Paulo is the number 1 option on his team. Yes, that's understandable. But efficiency matters in terms of their play. How does that explain the 12-game sample size without Shea then? 22 points per game on the same efficiency. In fact, I think his efficiency is even higher without Shea. What does that say about him?
I mean, it says he's a good player without him, but at the same time, the thing is, you're trying to use the argument that you're using the efficiency as a case, the second half of the season as a case, and then you're throwing in the Oklahoma City Thunder being in contention for the playing
Yes.
tournament as a case.
Yes.
The first two I'll go ahead and give you, but the last one I can't, because look at the rosters that they got. Look at the two rosters.
Why did Scotty Barnes win Rookie of the Year last year?
He was on a good team and he was playing well. But the thing is,
that's
there's the two.
thing.
No. That the thing is though, that Rookie of the Year debate was like, it was close because look at the two other guys that were running, Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley. Those two guys were thrown out the window a long time ago. It wasn't even close.
They didn't have why didn't they not have a chance at winning it though?
Well, for Cade Cunningham,
winning.
it was losing.
Yes.
And then for Evan Mobley, it just wasn't, obviously he wasn't as good as Scotty Barnes.
But that's the thing though. Like winning obviously plays a factor into this Rookie of the Year argument. It should, in some sense, it should factor in, especially considering I don't get it. Why does the whole argument that people have of guys putting up empty stats on bad teams suddenly not apply in cases like this? Not saying that Paulo in any sort of way is an empty stats kind of guy. He's a stat patter, but why does a winning team production on a winning team not factor into something like this? Like it should have a case that Jalen Williams is producing on a team that's gonna be making the play-ins. I just feel like my thing is if Paulo wins a Rookie of the Year, that's cool. But like the whole campaigning as if it's been, a consensus Rookie of the Year. This guy's been the best rookie since Zion, best rookie since Luka, best rookie since LeBron, this and that. And then to throw out his whole second half of the season, where he's had terrible stretches of basketball, should factor in.
I mean, then we go ahead.
Not the month of March. This guy been cooking. Paulo been cooking the month of March.
We got it,
and we know who's been better in that March.
Paulo been cooking the month of March.
The thing is, the award is not won at the start of the year. It's won from the start of the season.
I mean, that's your argument. That's your argument, man. He started off the season right with it. I'm saying
we just can't take Paulo's first half of the season win.
I'm just saying Jalen Williams is catching up to him, man. If Jalen Williams finishes out these rest of these 4 or 5 games extremely strong, he deserves a case, man. He deserves a case.
Paulo,
and they make the play-in.
But we're not forgetting Paulo's month as well. 21. Let's see what his shooting splits were. 45%, 38% from 3, averaging 21, 7, and 4. To me, he's been performing this whole month of March. Ever since that 3% shooting from February, he's been turning up every single time he's been touching the court. And obviously, looking at the team-wise and the structure of the teams and everything, yes, they're sitting at 34-44, sitting outside the playoffs. But a lot got to factor in with them having a fantastic player named Shai. He's one of the top 15, 20 players in the league. Imagine, Orlando had that. Maybe, Paulo's numbers would go down, but who knows? They'll be sitting 5th, 6th seed in the East.
He wouldn't be putting up those 20 points per game. I'll tell you that.
Why would he though?
Because that's Shai's job now. He's the scorer on the team.
But we've seen Jalen Williams.
Now you have two.
We're seeing Jalen Williams do it. Why can't Paulo do it on his own as well?
Because Jalen Williams' game relies on efficiency. He could put up these numbers next to a high volume scorer because he doesn't need the ball in his hands that much.
Shooting 2 threes a game, but shooting 2 threes a game and making one.
Why we acting like Paulo takes 10 threes a game? What the hell? The guy's not a
no.
high
But you highlight him not being.
He shoots 4 a game though. At least he shoots more than Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams, what, 3 a game?
0.6. That's what the
average. Not a huge difference, bro. It's not a huge difference. 1.3 a game.
It's a lot.
I mean, considering the guy shooting 29% from 3, he needs to relax on them then.
I mean,
I don't know, but I do get Jalen Williams. What he's been doing the second half of the year, man. He's been turned up. He's been a big help to OKC, and I'm sure I agree with you. It shouldn't be 100% consensus on Paulo winning it. There's guys like Benedict Mathurin that's been performing all year long, and he's been hooping as well. Guys like what you said, Jalen Williams coming into the second half, helping his team out. Shai missing a lot of games the second half of the season. Him stepping up 9 out of 14 games, averaging 20 points. That should go into consideration. So I do get what you're saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, if Jalen Williams should be in the running for this award, I feel like a lot of other people should be in it. But
I feel like it should be 3 guys. It's Paulo, him, and Benedict.
Nah, but since we're talking about stretches of the season where guys are starting to step up, then we got to throw in Keegan Murray in there. let's go ahead and acknowledge at least Walker Kessler, what he's been doing for Utah. He's been having, a hell of a stretch.
Walker Kessler's a hooper.
So it's like, we're taking sample sizes of the season instead of, everybody's body of
This
work.
is the second half of the season, though. This is like an important.
Yeah,
part of
but
the season.
the award is not given based on, this just half of the season. If we're talking about the first half of the season MVP Rookie of the Year award, then we'll go ahead and give it to Paulo. The second half will probably go to somebody else. But unfortunately, that's not how the award works. It goes from the start of the season all the way until the end of the season. And I feel like Paulo's been the better player. Paulo's been the more deserving of this award. And of course, I feel like they're still going to give it to him. But I don't think that the race for this award is as close as people make it out to be, as close as people make it seem. I don't think it's close at all. Paulo's been better throughout the entire season. Yes, he's had his struggles. He's a rookie. Every rookie's gonna have their struggles, but that's what comes with it. And I feel like he's deserving of this award. But of course, with the season coming to an end, we're just gonna have to wait and see how the voters view it and what they do with the voting system.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Being out late, now that's overkill.